Hello and welcome to Your New Jersey. I'm Lisa Marie Falbo. On today's show, we'll meet Kent Harris and Vinay Kumar Mysore, the creative minds behind an immersive exhibit in Newark honoring community doulas. Later, Dan Silverman and Bergen County Clerk John Hogan will discuss how cutting-edge blockchain technology is revolutionizing property records in Bergen County. But first, Calvin Ledford Jr. from the PSEG Foundation joins us to discuss their $1.2 million grant program supporting nonprofits that address housing, food insecurity, and workforce needs across New Jersey. Calvin, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
The last time we were together was back in December at your 10-year anniversary of the PSEG Foundation at your Newark headquarters.
Yes, thank you and the entire organization for being so supportive of the PSEG Foundation. Yes.
It was a great day. I mean, the energy in that room and just the amazing work that you do and everything I learned that day. I'm happy to carry it over here.
No, I appreciate that.
With warmer temperatures.
With warmer temperatures, you know. That was the first time that we brought the nonprofits together to celebrate them. And what a perfect opportunity to do it during our 10-year anniversary of the Neighborhood Partners Program. So thank you again for being there.
Well, now in year 11, you have this amazing grant program. I mean, that's a lot of money to give worthy foundations across the Garden State.
And that amount has grown over the years. It didn't start out at $1.2 million. So we're happy to have been able to allocate funds for the program this year. It's been growing. Since 2020, we've doubled in applicants, and we've tried to increase the funds to be supportive of the number of applicants that apply to the program.
How can people apply?
Well, they can apply by going to pseg.com/foundation. And all of the information about the Neighborhood Partners Program is right there.
You have very specific pillars that you focus on. Why did the PSEG Foundation choose those to focus?
So we view them all as interconnected, right? So there's environmental sustainability, there's social justice, there's equity and economic empowerment. And as I stated, we view them as interconnected, and we try to be a foundation that positions itself to ebb and flow with the needs of what's going on, right? We're always very involved in looking for organizations that are into our environment, trying to do sustainable initiatives for our environment. But as you know, if I were to back up a few years, not only the nation, but the state, but we needed to be involved in organizations that were heavy into inclusion. And we looked at that and we supported that. Then the nation went through a traumatic experience, unfortunately, and we started focusing in on social justice at the time. And here we are today, where not only the nation, but the state of New Jersey, we're going through an affordability crisis. So again, by viewing all of these pillars as interconnected, it provides us the opportunity to ebb and flow with the needs of community.
You're turning terrible situations into such positives.
We're trying to do our best. I'm trying to work with those nonprofits that are aligned with those pillars and are trying to uplift the communities.
So once everybody applies on your end, then what happens?
So we have a team of employees. Not all of them are PSEG Foundation members. We reach out across the enterprise to pull together a team to go through the various grants that people apply for. And then we have collaborative sessions to talk about what they may be asking for, what's the impact, are they a long-term partner that's been with us, somebody new who's establishing a new program. And through conversations like that, we make the decisions. And if I didn't mention in the beginning, our grant program goes anywhere from a minimum of $500 to $15,000.
$15,000. That does a lot if you're a small nonprofit.
It does a lot for a small nonprofit, but so does $2,500 for some organization. You know, the vast majority of a number of our 501c3s have 1 or 2 employees. Community-based and grassroots organizations within the communities that we serve. So we try to align the grants to match the impact of what the organization's capacity is and what it is that they're trying to do for the community.
How do you announce your winners?
So the 10-year anniversary was a brand new idea for us to collaborate on announcing the winners. We have done press releases in the past, but we wanted to find an opportunity to bring more of the winners together. Keep in mind, we have 400 to 500 applicants who applied for the Neighborhood Partners Program. And like I said, it's grown over the course of the last, 10 and a half to 11 years. That's kind of how we lean into it. And we plan to continue doing events like we had back in December to be able to announce some of the key winners and allow them to talk about the success and the impacts of their programs.
I asked that question. I was hoping you would say there'd be another party because that was a lot of fun.
Yes, and you're invited.
Oh, well, thank you.
And you're invited.
Thank you. Throughout the year, what else does the PSEG Foundation do?
So the PSEG Foundation doesn't only focus on the Neighborhood Partners Program. It is one of our signature programs. But that particular program is focused on the grassroots and the smaller to mid-sized nonprofits. We do have partnerships with institutions of higher learning. We have partnerships with some statewide and national organizations. We tend to lean into the Neighborhood Partners Program because we recognize these are communities where our employees work and where they live and where they volunteer. And we know from a community perspective, sometimes larger institutions are just overwhelming. They may be institutions that can help a number of community members, but the community members may not be comfortable approaching or going to the larger institutions. Now, we partner with them, and sometimes we work on collaborations between the larger institutions as well as the small and mid-size. But we recognize the importance for the people in the communities of New Jersey and Long Island to be able to sometimes just walk down the street where there's a 501c3 nonprofit who they might be seeing every day just going to work, and from afar gaining some trust. So we believe in organizations that are having impact.
That's so cool. How did you get involved in the foundation? What's your PSEG story?
Also, this past March made 38 years for me at PSEG.
How many?
Yes, 38 years.
38?
38, I'm proud to say.
Were you born in Newark at the headquarters?
Just under 10 years old maybe when I started. But I actually started with PSEG reading meters, and I was able to do that while going through college. So I've been a success story of a number of leadership programs that PSEG was able to offer. I was able to continue my education through support of PSEG. So I had the good fortune to be able to move around in a number of managerial positions. Right around the time that the Neighborhood Partners Program, I moved over into governmental affairs. And in that area, we worked in partnership with the PSEG Foundation. So that gave me an opportunity to get a little bit more involved in philanthropy, and it became a goal of mine. And about 6 years ago, I came over to the PSEG Foundation and been here ever since.
What a story. I mean, you're a walking success story.
Thank you.
Do you have any big time goals that you're looking to achieve?
The goals are always impact. Who are those nonprofits that are out there that don't know that the PSEG Foundation would be supportive of them? Who are those organizations that either may be a startup, may be a long-term partner that is trying to pivot? Because the expectation of the nonprofits is to fill a gap where families themselves or the government can't fill, as we know. That's the role of 501c3s and nonprofits. So anywhere there's opportunity to make the lives better, those are the organizations that we want to have. We want to help.
Well, you do such a good job at doing that. Thank you so much. One more time, give your website for those watching that are interested.
At pseg.com/foundation.
Great.
Again, thank you for having me. And as you stated earlier and asked, we're looking to partner with any organizations out there that's trying to do well by the community, that's aligned with PSEG, and wants to do everything in its power to ensure our communities are Jersey ready.
I love that. And Long Island.
And Long Island.
Thank you so much,
Yes,
Calvin.
thank you
And
as
we'll see
well.
you at the next party.
All right, take care.
Thanks. Exhibition designers Kent Harris and Vinay Kumar Mysore join us to discuss The Courage and Care, their powerful exhibit at Newark Art Space, honoring the work of community doulas. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us, Lisa.
Anybody who knows me knows I am so pro doulas. I had doulas at my births, and I never could have gotten through those beautiful experiences without them. So thank you for putting them in the spotlight.
It's a real honor, honestly, for us. I feel like I'm really glad that you had that experience with doulas, but for so many people, when they have a doula, it's such a one-on-one relationship. It's you and the doula. And so for everyone else involved in that whole process of birth care, be it people inside the hospital, doctors, even larger family and community, they don't necessarily see all the work and all the care that goes into supporting a birthing person through their birthing journey from all of labor through that year postpartum. And it's been really great to create this exhibition space that really shows that full story and honors the work that they're doing.
How did you two come together to create the space?
So we really created the space by centering doulas first and foremost. We met with them in their homes and workspaces to really experience what their atmosphere was like in providing care to the birthing families that they work with. We listened to their stories. We learned a lot about their history. We learned a lot about their care practices, and were able to really work with them in designing how to interpret that into a spatial experience for their communities, for their loved ones, and really to propel a lot of the advocacy work that they're doing for doulas.
What did you learn in interviewing them?
I think one of the things that we really had to hold through the process is there's a bright side and a dark side. There's a great amount of beauty and joy in birth and possibility in birth, but there is also grief and loss that can often walk side by side with that. And doulas, are supporting any number of people. And so sometimes those experiences do end in loss, or sometimes there are unforeseen circumstances along the way. And similarly, birth can be a very meaningful experience for many, but the state of maternal care in New Jersey, especially Black and Brown maternal care, is that it's a very risky and dangerous proposition for a lot of birthing people when they're coming in through the hospital system or coming in through the birthing process. And so doulas are really walking this balance of, holding the weight of a lot of challenge and the sort of barriers that might be experienced along the way, but also really helping people stay anchored in the joy and the possibility of what birth and their family and their community can be like. So I think that duality, if you will, was something I think really struck with me.
That's unbelievable. Vinay, what's the reaction been to people that walk through?
For doulas, I feel like there's a sense, the common phrase is feeling seen for work that's so invisible. I think for our wider community of people coming through, it's kind of like a good news, bad news, good news. Good news, community doulas are here. They are here in New Jersey. If you're on Medicaid, you have full rights and access to doulas. They can support you through birth. We have it in New Jersey, available for basically every birthing person. Bad news is that there's a lot of challenges still in the birthing system, and there's a lot of challenges even facing doulas right now in terms of barriers, in terms of pay, in terms of their inclusion in the birth team, in terms of the broader maternal health crisis that we're in. But good news is actually doulas are proven to help support that. We know that this can work. We know this is an effective solution. We have the pieces for it here. It's really about respecting and honoring that work and kind of taking it to the next step. And that's so people coming out of this exhibition getting the sense of, this is a really great asset that we have. There's something I can do to help support it too, and we can come out better for this. Yeah.
Speaking of support, talk about the community support that you've received to even launch this exhibit.
Yeah. So the community is a huge part of the work that we do. And one of the most gratifying experiences has been really seeing the doulas that we worked with experience what it's like to see themselves in this kind of space, to see their faces on the wall, or for their families or their communities to come in and say, I know that person, or feel like they were impacted by the work that this doula has done. It's been really gratifying to experience that. On the sponsorship side of things, we were funded through the Aspen Institute and the Bergen Foundation to do this work, and they have been really powerful partners for us in really making sure that we're able to speak to a variety of audiences, because one of the big things we want for this to be able to do is create a stream of funding and support for doulas so that they can continue doing the work that they're doing and make a livable wage. And so being able to reach foundations, being able to reach medical institutes or just different kind of healthcare partners is really something that they've been able to help connect us with.
That's great. Now, the both of you are artists. Talk about briefly your backgrounds.
Well, I'm a designer as well as Kent, and we're leaning into that artist bit too. We met working in a previous studio, and we were doing work with communities, trying to bring communities involved inside more architectural projects. And what we felt was that in the work that we were doing and the people we were meeting and the stories we were hearing, there was so much more opportunity for those stories to be uplifted and honored on their own terms. And that's where we started looking and exploring what ultimately became an exhibition design practice. And as Kent mentioned, crucially, the Bergen Foundation, through the Aspen Institute as well, and Narrative Initiative, were really excited about trying to find a way to have a narrative, story-driven way of talking about an important social issue, which I kind of was our calling card. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of this idea that we had and the perfect place to show it.
Well, I think you hit on an amazing idea. Do you have plans to do more?
I think so. So a couple pieces is certainly this exhibition. We hope to see it move around New Jersey more and come to more spaces and places. Right now it's in Newark, and so trying to find, as Kent mentioned, different medical institutions, public spaces that we might be able to put that exhibit in. And then for us, I think from there is kind of, again, applying this model of uplifting community stories, vital stories that might not be spoken about as frequently or as publicly as we'd like, and trying to find places to do that. So, yeah.
Where can people find out more about you and the exhibit?
So you can find out more about us on Instagram and on our website at wearegood.co.
Great. Well, I'm so happy that you joined me here today, and you're just so cool. Like, you just ooze coolness.
Well,
so I like being around cool people. I am not.
Cool recognizes cool.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Dan Silverman and John Hogan explained Bergen County's groundbreaking project to digitize property deeds using blockchain, making records faster and more secure. Welcome, gentlemen, to the show.
Thank you for having us. Great to be here.
This is so cool. And I can't pretend that I really understand it, so I'm going to lean on you specifically, Dan, to educate us. What happened in Bergen County?
Cool. Well, it's a difficult subject. Obviously, a lot of people don't know about it, but it's becoming more and more popular. So most of the time when people think about blockchain, they think crypto automatically. So the first thing I'll say is there's a difference between crypto and blockchain. Blockchain is the underlying infrastructure, and crypto is an application of blockchain. So what we're doing in Bergen County has nothing to do with cryptocurrency. What we're doing is we're tokenizing records so that they're more secure and you could see where they've been issued from. The blockchain has a distributed ledger that's immutable, meaning it can't be tampered with, and it's much more robust against hacks and ransomware attacks. So by tokenizing the records, we could tell that it was issued directly from the county clerk. We could prevent fraudulent documents from being spun up. So deed fraud is still running rampant, and especially with the rise in AI, fake documents can be fabricated instantly. So we could protect against those things and protect against ransomware attacks.
You had the idea to reach out to Dan.
Yes.
Where did you come across that idea?
So I served on the governor's committee for blockchain prior to COVID, and we had about 2 years worth of meetings. I had no idea what blockchain is. So I had investigated. We all had assignments, committee members, to learn what blockchain was all about. And we came back with reports, and I said, wow, this is some really cool stuff. My office, since I've been there 13 and a half years, we've been on the forefront of using new technology. Because when I got there, the office was stuck in the last century. It was, mimeograph. I don't know if you guys know mimeograph.
I
It's
have no idea.
purple paper,
Never heard of it.
copies.
Yeah.
That was used in the office yet. So I had to remove all of that and bring stuff up to date. And we did a lot of great things. So after COVID came, our blockchain committee didn't meet anymore. So we continued on, my deputy and myself, and we kept looking at blockchain, how we could apply it to the office. Through our search, we came upon Dan and Balcony and his company.
And then how did the plans get into motion to digitize the deeds?
So we met numerous times, and then we decided to do a pilot. We were very, very impressed by the results of the pilot, and we knew that blockchain to be used for our land records is going to take 5 years or maybe a little less, right? So we're setting up the foundation so that we can have our records utilized through modern technology.
What's the reception been with Bergen County citizens?
I think the citizens are learning about it. I think the press coverage has been phenomenal, and I've gotten a lot of compliments. You're keeping the office going. You can make it easier for the residents of Bergen County to interact with our office, and that's something we've always done.
We see this as a similar evolution from the filing cabinet to the computer. It's that big of a deal, what we're seeing, and it's starting to become more and more widespread. This has been attempted before in the past, early on, but in other counties throughout the country, but it was a little too premature. This is the first time where the world is ready, legislation is ready. There's bipartisan efforts underway in Congress right now to explain and regulate digital assets. So we're at the forefront, and we're working towards building towards that future. We want to be compatible with the digital infrastructure of tomorrow.
Are you taking your show on the road to other counties and towns?
Absolutely. So yeah, we're working through New Jersey, and even beyond New Jersey, we're in Wyoming currently. I know it's a little far and very different than New Jersey. The reason we're there is they actually lead the nation in blockchain adoption. So we're going to look to expand not too quickly, but focus on states that want to see this, and there's not as much of an educational component that is required.
John, you
Yes.
said you sat on the blockchain committee
Yes.
for the governor. Has the governor reached out to you since this news broke?
It's all emerging. I saw the governor at an event, but we couldn't get to see each other. We're so packed at this event. But I can tell you Bergen County is the largest county in the state. So when this goes through and it works within the next couple of years, people will be able to sit at their kitchen table or in their living room. They'll be able to get their laptop and they'll be able to look up whoever owned their property from day one. Right now, that's a full search that takes hours and if not days to do. They'll be able to do it from the confines of their home, which will make it so much more convenient. And that's what we've always tried to do in Bergen County, make the residents' interaction with our office as simple as possible.
This is changing the game.
Absolutely.
Currently, that's a manual process.
Wow.
Daniel's Law. It's a manual process. Thank God I'm a large enough county that I can have people handle this process. Other smaller counties are having difficulty with it, and they've reached out to you.
Yeah, absolutely. And even Fort Lee, which is a town in Bergen County we're working with, told us they have problem making payments to people who are protected under Daniel's Law because they need to make those payments public and they can't publish their address or their name, so they don't know how to do it. So they have money they literally can't send. The blockchain also has payment rails, so you could send money frictionlessly anywhere and with zero knowledge proof, so you could ensure that it got to the right place.
Wow. It's just, I can spend hours because, again, this is uncharted territory.
it's an
This is
emerging
like the eighth
technology.
wonder of the world, right? And I mean, you're at the forefront. You should be very proud.
Thank you.
Well, where can people find out more about Balcony?
So our website is balcony.technology. I would go there or Google Bergen County blockchain, and you'll see tons of articles about this initiative.
Great. And then where can people find out more about Bergen County and everything happening? They
can check our website. Our website's constantly updated. We have Facebook. We have all social media, Instagram and everything, and we have all that information out there.
And our Twitter handle, by the way, is Balcony Tech, @BalconyTech.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for being
Thank
here
you.
today. This was so much
Appreciate
fun
it.
to
Thank
learn
you.
a little bit. I understand a little bit now. So thank you for the education.
Absolutely. Anytime.
And Bergen County is one of the best places to live, work, and play in like the world,
Good.
not just in the state of New Jersey. So thank you for
So
all
you
that
should
you
move
do.
up.
Yeah, Morris County
your
will
deed
fight
will be
you
secure.
for that.
Your deed will be secure if you move there.
That's true. That's true. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for your time.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for joining me on another episode of Your New Jersey. I'm Lisa Marie Falbo. We'll see you back here next week.